Village of Machesney Park residents speak out about a potential business district development plan during a public hearing Monday. Village leaders say the intersection of routes 251 and 173 are an important commercial corridor with a number of established businesses there. Now, the plan comes with a potential 1% additional sales tax. Leaders say would help offset redevelopment costs.
The next step is that the board will consider ordinances and consider the amount of sales tax to be collected up to 1%. So the state statute allows us to collect in 0.25% increments up to 1 full percent.